Okay, so the idea when you're building a stove out of rocks is you want to build two shelves. So there's one shelf and another shelf up above. And you also want to have rocks that bank this to the sides and the back. So we have our two shelves. Now, underneath the first shelf, that's where we're going to put the hot coals and fire. So in there, the heat will rise up onto the second shelf, okay, where our banana nut muffins are going to be baking, and we want to have a cap to the oven to finish it off. So we need at least 2 or 3 long flat rocks to build these shelves. I've just gotten back from foraging through the forest for a number of these nice flat rocks. Whenever I see a type of cliff face, you can find some of these flat rocks. A good indicator is the ground shifts just a little bit as you're walking around. Odds are you're on a nice flat rock. After I got my flat rocks, I went out foresting again back into the forest, and now I've gotten a collection of different types of wood, okay, for my oven. Now, the idea here is to get some nice hot coals going, and ideally you want to use a lot of hardwood, but you also want to have a lot of the light wood like pine to get the heat up and get the oak over here. Those will make our nice hot coals, and we've got some kindling here as well. But we're going to have to feed this fire once it gets going and make sure that the oven is constantly getting heat. Alright, so here we are with our set-up stove now. You can see, just as in the drawing there's the walls along the top, the sides, and the top and the middle shelf. And right there below the middle shelf is where all the coals will go. The muffins will go there, and you can see that it's also the back of the shelf, and everything is there to bounce the heat up and around the muffins. Okay, so we've got the fire started now using the old classic TP in a log house approach to getting a base fire. We're going to try to get those coals going. I'm going to move that fire in closer to the oven and start moving some coals in there once we get more of a fire going. Now let's switch to the actual muffin mix. Alright, so we don't have to be in a rush with this. Take our time, stir while it's getting mixed up, and now we're just going to start adding our mixture. And we can spoon it in. Like I said, we don't want to be in a rush. We'll add that 2 scoops. Oh, a little bit of wind action blowing it around. Not in a rush, but I'd like them to stay. There's one. Oh. Now, last thing you want to remember, if you do have chocolate chips, like mine has, you want to make sure that you actually add some chocolate chips to each one. So here we are now with the fire. I've moved it in closer to the stove, and you can see in there we've got some coals starting to burn down. And yeah, we'll just keep this process going with the rest of the wood and finish off with the oak. So it's been about half an hour to 45 minutes of stoking the fire, and now we're just taking off the last cupcakes. And here we go. Let's see how we did here. Oh, look at those chocolate chips. Looks like we got a pretty good muffin here. That's good. Check this out. All chocolate chip. Delicious. Oh yeah, that works.